Hello, everyone. This is Faheem Jackson, and it's episode 142 of my podcast show, In the Know. This podcast is aimed at trying to guide people through the world with a variety of topics. Each season, there will be a particular group of topics to cover. Within these topics, I am asking questions, trying my best to answer these questions with my viewpoints of the world around me. The following introduction speech is for the topic of today. And that introduction speech is, what is the best time of day to work out? Whenever you're trying to figure out a good time of day in order to work out, it's whatever fits you. For me, I work overnight shifts on my job. So for me, it's tough simply because if I come home, then the incentive to go back out is low, especially in the times of the year when it's cold outside. The last thing you want to do is come back outside once you're indoors. So when I leave work, I get on the ferry, then the train, and I go to the gym. From the gym, I come home and get showered and fall asleep soon after. For the most part, I would say that you should go to the gym after work because most people get ready for work in the morning, then head off to work and work out afterward. You can work out before going to work, but that means potentially being tired and worn out going through the day. Yet that depends upon how rigorously you train your body in the morning. The third option could be going to the gym in the nighttime. This means winding down for a little bit, then going back outside to go to the fitness center. In this episode, I will explore the best times during the day for any of you who want to work out. So enjoy this episode, as usual, and be sure to listen, like, and share with your community. And if you're listening on YouTube, hit that subscribe button and like the video. So without further ado, let's look at the time frames when choosing to go in the morning. For someone who has worked a day job in the morning, I can tell you right now, it is difficult to go to the gym early in the morning. But going to the gym before you head off to work is something that is tough because your mind is somewhere work-related. Well, you know what? Going to the gym early in the morning could keep your mind sharp for when you have to go to work and prosper. And there have been scientific studies that have linked exercise early in the morning to going to work and being productive throughout the day. Breakfast is already considered the most important meal of the day. So after, exercising can get you ready to fight the entire day at work. This way, by the time you get home, the only energy you have is to fix your dinner and tend to your family. And then the 8 hours of sleep gives you time you need to rejuvenate yourself for the next day's lift. On the other hand, there are other times during the day when you're able to exercise that is beneficial as well. Okay? What happens once the person is working out during the day? And midday exercising tends to be a little more difficult than most days at the gym. But why? Let's look at when choosing to go midday or in the afternoon. Here's where going to the gym becomes a little more complicated. Most people work during the day, with the next people working overnight. And for that reason, working out in the middle of the day can be tough. If you work a job where you get an hour break, you can get yourself a quick 30-minute workout. Or if you work a job that doesn't track how you clock in and out, then you'll get an hour and be able to travel back to work for your career. Now, if you work for yourself, what you can do is take time whenever you need to do so and go off to the gym. This time to go to the gym is great because it gives you a chance to wake up and get a lot of work done in the morning. Then you go off to have lunch for a pre-workout meal that will aid in the exercise. Now you have a good hearty breakfast inside of you that provided you with the fuel through the morning. And now the other meal is to fight in the gym. This strength will aid in finishing off your workday. Here's another midday workout that coincides with overnight work. Well, why? Well, it's because you can come home and sleep, then wake up during the day and go out to the gym before showering to go to work. Yet there's still one more time slot to go off and perform an exercise. And that is when choosing to exercise in the evening. As for these groups of people, they generally work during the daytime and come home to work out later. They could work during the morning, but they want to save this for the evening. Now, this is a time where you could be around a lot of people because most people work during the day and work out later. Yet in this time slot, you might also be able to connect to people and create exercise groups. Now there is a community of people to work with that could propel you in the aesthetic direction you're traveling. Or if you wanted to work out with a significant other, this is something else that could benefit you. Now both of you are out of work and making sure you guys keep each other healthy and fit. So with what has been stated, what happens once the person lifting is not lifting? Meaning when you are idle, what are you planning for the next time you're going to step into the gym? And for this short section, this is called, what are downtimes? For me, I work overnight, so my downtimes are usually times when people are going to the gym in the evening. Thereafter, I get off of work at 5 a.m. and I get to the gym around 7 o'clock. After getting out of the gym, I eat and sleep, or eat before the gym. These times give my body a chance to heal itself before going back to the gym again for my next day's workout. Like I said, this section of this episode is short simply because it's pretty self-explanatory. Now let's go into the next area, eating at different times. The meals that are so much different depending on the time of day too. When you're going to work out during the morning, breakfast is going to be the most important meal of the day. It will get you off to a good start before you head to the gym, then to work. That fuel is going to be the fuel needed to fight most of the day on the job after the gym. After the morning workout is the midday exercises. A good meal to prepare for this workout is lunch. Lunch should be a good size, but not as big as to me as the breakfast foods. I would also state that using some form of protein shake along with lunch you eat is beneficial as well, like a pre-workout. As for the evening food to eat, you could eat dinner then go to the gym. This might be difficult after dinner. It would require some serious discipline in order to walk back out in the evening. Having a significant other to prepare meals would help greatly because now you can grab and go to the gym. From here, we're going to the next area of interest as it pertains to the best times to exercise. Yet this next section is not about exercise at all, but just as important. Sleeping around the schedule. As it pertains to this topic, I get a little sleep from home, so I make it up as I go to work and come home on public transportation. This makes sense for me because I'm taking a longer commute in New York City. For most of you, will be commuting a much shorter distance, and the time will be shortened. So there's no reason you're not able to gain more sleep during the day or even in the evening. I would say get about 6 to 7 myself overall. 8 hours is the most optimal amount of time that one should sleep to have your body rejuvenated for the next day. And to be honest, that is much better than what I'm doing myself. Because when it comes to fitness and wellness, you want to make sure that you get the right amount of sleep. For morning workouts, you're going to be coming from a night's sleep into the morning. This will be most people that will be working out. For the midday people, they'll be sleeping into the morning and waking up around lunch. As for the last group of people, you'll be sleeping into the evening and waking up. They will be going to the gym late at night before the gym closes. In the next section, we're going to be discussing what actually works for myself. As for me, what works for me? I like to work out in the morning because it starts me off right in the day ahead of me. I have done the evening and the middle of the day. The middle of the day works on days off, which is not good for me with the job that I have had. The evening was not optimal for me simply because I'm pushing it way too close to the gym closing. I know that sounds odd considering that I work overnight. But what my preference is totally different from the time I have to go to the gym. So it's rough for me to go to work and my fitness outside the constraints I normally like. I've been trying to figure out ways to come to the gym but it would mean getting a new job. There have been people who have asked me an idea of what they should be doing because they have seen my results. And here's why I would like to tell people that results vary from person to person. This is where I switch gears in order to give you a little more insight into the person that you reach out for help to. That's when I say, hey, you have to do what works for you, which is the next section. What works for you? We have a tendency to observe others' results and then figure we should get those same results with the same amount of work. And we all get different results because our individual diets, exercise, and sleep. That doesn't mean we should seek out information regarding the information we find that could aid in our overall performance. What I'm saying is that we should see the blueprint that others have used in order to get to the best. Then create our own blueprint and move on from there. Same with the diet that you aim to grow your strength. Your body is going to need different things than everyone else. Know your body's structure and what it needs. My body is an exomorph, so I have a harder time putting on muscle than an endomorph, meaning my body is more naturally built to be slimmer, so it takes so much more. So how does one keep themselves in the mindset to keep going on? Well, you have to have the right amount of discipline and motivation, which leads into the next section, keeping yourself motivated and disciplined. When I first began working out, after stopping in my mid-20s, I had to go to the doctor's office because my legs started to cramp. That is simply because when you take out too much time, then you're going to have problems once you come back. The longer you take off, the harder it will be to come back. As you get older, the fight to go to the gym is a little more difficult, especially if you're not someone who has been athletically inclined in the past. The first few weeks are going to feel odd because you'll be trying to figure out how to get in the groove. Hopefully, over the course of the year, the body will become used to the workouts you perform, and that will get you on a disciplined and motivational path. I'll say this right now, but listen clear. You will have bouts with motivation and discipline. I've been there before and still continue to deal with this. For the most part, I'm able to keep going and fighting. But I will say, having the right discipline and motivation, you will take on feats that you never thought possible. Ultimately, you must choose a way to go when exercising on a daily basis. And that's what leads into ultimately choosing a path full time. No matter what you choose to do, you will need a consistent workout plan. And that choosing of a path to take will have to be held firm because your long-term sustainability is necessary for when you need to grow your strength. But if you don't stay consistent, you won't make the gains or losses you need. Then you'll be wasting time that could be otherwise spent doing things more constructively. For me, I've been switching paths a few times because I have worked during the day, lifted at night, went overnight, back to daytime, and back to overnight. So as you can see, things can get tough when switching it up on the work schedule. Now, where do you go from here? Which is ending with my show wrap up. Why we have to ask the question, what would be the best time of day to go to the gym and exercise? In this episode, we observe what would be the best time of day to go to the gym. And what was concluded is that it depends upon your schedule. If you're working in the morning, then your workout plan will be different than someone who's working overnight. I've worked both, and I would tell you that there is something that throws you off about working out at certain times. You see, people in the gym and the amount of people can be a distraction, but also a challenge when you see people around. For me, I like to see a good balance of people in the gym because it does give me a challenge. If I had a choice, I would work the mornings before going to work and not coming from work overnight and working out in the morning. But then there are the afternoons and the evening workout plans. Whatever you decide, be prepared to stick to that plan because it will be useful in building strength or losing weight, whichever you're deciding to do. Thank you for listening to In the Know, and I'll be bringing you another episode regarding fitness and wellness, and that is not only how fitness can make you feel over time,